Welcome back. All right, so 8 games tonight in the NHL, but I want to start with. So I got some Lunar New Year stuff through the Canucks store. This is a T-shirt. I did not buy the jersey. I'm not spending $750 on a jersey. Certainly not one that I wouldn't really wear. So I mean, for $750, jersey's just not going to do it. All right, so first up, we're going to talk about Detroit in against the New York Islanders. It was Hellberg versus Sorokin, which looks like a huge mismatch on paper. But I have to say, Hellberg played pretty well. He held his own. This was a game that didn't waste any time. It moved along quickly. It was an Islanders game. Early jump for the Islanders. They end up getting a power play. That's killed off. Bertuzzi has a shot that's held. The Wings get a power play. That's killed off. There's going to be a lot of me saying that in this one. Wings press after it ends. The shots are only 3 apiece at the half, so both teams are defending well. Islanders get another power play. Right, that's killed off. Wallman has a blast that's kicked aside. It's scoreless after 1. Not a lot of really prime chances for either team in that first period either. So second period, Wings get an early chance. Rasmussen fires one high. The Wings draw a power play. Things are kind of pushy on there. That's when a guy's trying to get it to be a 4-on-4, right? You try to goad somebody else into a penalty or goad somebody else into a penalty, so that, it's a 4-on-4 situation. That doesn't happen, though. So they cycle, but they're kept to the outside. Larkin has a shot that's held. Power play's killed off. 3 shots in total for Detroit there. Pressed by the Islanders at 4.5 minutes, and they would score. Leave from Palmieri and Nelson at 4:44. The Islanders press for another. There was a power play drawn by the Islanders. That's killed off. Pressed by New York with 9 minutes left. New York takes a penalty while they're pressing. You don't want to do that. Those offensive zone penalties. Good cycle on that power play, but it's killed off. 4 shots on that one. Suter fires one high from in close after it's done. Guys kind of get in like a circle and start punching each other in the final minute. That's fun. So it becomes a 4-on-4. So it's 1-0 Islanders after 2 periods. Third period, early power play for the Wings. There's a shorthanded rush by Parise that kills some time. And they killed that off. They allowed 0 shots. The shots are only 2-0 for the Islanders at 4 minutes, but at 4:31, good forecheck, screen shot. Nelson gets a goal to go with an assist. Palmieri with his second assist of the game makes it 2-0. Islanders get a power play. This power play tonight for the Islanders just wasn't good. Pajot's denied. There's some punching. Microphones on the ice should have been turned off. They seemed to be at certain points, but they kept turning them back on while the swearing's still going on. At any rate, it's always entertaining when that takes place. Wings press with 8.5 minutes left. Aho has a shot that's held. The Wings press again with 5.5 minutes left. They pull the goaltender with more than 3 minutes left. They did their best to generate chances, but in the end, the Islanders block. They keep them outside, and they win this one 2-0. They go to 24-22-5 with the win. The Wings drop to 21-19-8 with the loss. The shots in this one, 9-5 Islanders in the first, 13-10 Detroit in the second, 10-5 Islanders in the third. The Islanders do outshoot them 29-23. Both teams go 0 for 4 on the power play. Hits were 27-21 Islanders. Hellberg saved 27 out of 29. Good game for him. Sorokin, his 14th career shutout. 23 saves for him on that one. So, good game for Sorokin, and his 14th shutout already. He's barely. I think this was 109th start. It's just ridiculous. At any rate, moving along. LA. So LA in against Florida, and clearly understanding for the Kings what they're in for. Now the interesting thing is, with all the results tonight, LA, who have played more games than the teams are fighting for the top spot in the Pacific. Right now, the tops in the Pacific. It's hard for me to even say it. So it's Copley versus Lyon in this one. Early press by the Kings. No shots, though. The shots are 2-0 for the Panthers at 4 minutes. Dursey has a tipped point shot that's held, and then Kopitar buries one in close at 13:25. Byfield and Kempe with the assists on that one. Byfield, again, has really been quite good. He's playing an elevated role. The points are starting to come for him. So the Panthers get a power play, and then there's a turnover, and on a 2-on-1, Kempe buries it. Lizotte with the assist at 17:58. So late in the first period, it's 2-0 LA, which kind of takes the fans out of it. The Kings then finish off the kill, and they get a rush afterwards. Byfield has a chance that's held, 33 seconds left. The Panthers get a second power play. There's a near miss by Ekblad. They cycle, but that power play would roll over into the second period with LA leading 2-0. Kings finish the kill. There's some booze sprinkled in there for that. Florida fans getting kind of frustrated. Pressed by the Kings at 4 minutes. Dursey has a shot that's blocked. The Panthers clear it out. Suppressed by Florida at 6.5 minutes. Lomberg can't bury one in close. Forsling gets tripped into the boards, and it was an ugly one. They review it. They gave Turcotte the 5 minutes for boarding. He seemed kind of confused by it. I don't think he realized how bad that looked and just how much... I mean, Forsling could have snapped his ankle on that. Forsling would return to the game, but he absolutely could have broken his ankle with the way he hit the boards there. So I'm glad he was all right there. So 2 minutes, he didn't play the rest of the second period, but he came back in the third. So we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 and then a 3-minute power play for Florida. Because if you board a guy like that, you're going to end up getting some attention. So I don't think that Florida fans were upset about that. But what did upset them is, just as the power play starts after the 4-on-4 is done, Arvidsson gets what's technically a shorthanded goal from Mikey Anderson at 9:58. So a play that should inspire Florida and get things going. Instead, LA gets the goal and goes up 3-0. Kings kill off the rest of it, and then Danault has a rush that's saved. But on a strong forecheck, Eric Stahl grabs it, gets it to Lomberg. He roofs it at 13:23. The score is now 3-1. Panthers press for another press for the Panthers with 4 minutes left. And at 16:18, it's Montour. He walks in and rifles it in. Good cycle sets it up. Tkachuk and Verhaeghe with the assists on that. And then the Panthers nearly tie it the next shift. So the Kings really caught running around in their own zone, and Florida with a lot of momentum. They did press to close it. Some big saves there by Copley. So we're going to the third period. Forsling was back in to start the third. Panthers press at 3.5 minutes. The Kings with a power play. But that becomes 1 minute and 34 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. Strong forecheck by the Kings. The Panthers, though, end up getting a power play. That's killed off. 5:42 left. The Kings get their second power play. This one, they got the whole 2 minutes, but that's killed off as well. Panthers call a timeout with 1:47 left. They have the goalie on the bench, and Matt Roy hits the empty net at 18:58 from the other end of the ice. However, just to keep things interesting, Verhaeghe would answer from Tkachuk at 19:26. That's as close as they'd get, although in the final seconds, they were all around the net. So the Kings hold on. They win this one 4-3. They go to 28-17-6 with the win. Florida 23-22-6 with the loss. And these losses hurt. Like, they keep getting themselves within, 4 or 5 points of the playoffs, and then they get a couple of setbacks. Teams ahead of them win games, and they're in trouble. Shots in this one, 13-12 LA in the first, 17-9 Florida in the second, 19-11 Florida in the third. Final shots, 48-33 for the Panthers. Power plays, LA 0 for 2, Florida 0 for 5. The hits, 17-14 LA. Copley saved 45 out of 48. Lyon saved 29 out of 32. So both goaltenders played well enough, but the fact Lyon keeps playing tells you Knight is not ready to go. And they're going to be in this situation for probably a little while longer. The All-Star break cannot come soon enough for some of these teams. All right, next up, Ottawa. So Ottawa in against Toronto. So wearing Ottawa, and I'm wearing the 3D logo that I'm one of the few people that likes it. I never liked the striping on these jerseys, but I always liked the logo. So Forsberg versus Samsonov in this one. Samsonov's point streak is snapped. His home game point streak is done. 2 minutes of 4-on-4 due to some pushing, and what ends up happening is, during the 4-on-4 Ottawa scores, it's Chabot from Stützle and Brandstrom at 131. He just buries that one in close. Yarncroke's denied. Bunting fires one wide. DeBrincat has a shot that deflects out. The shots are 7-2 at 5 minutes for Toronto, and then at 7:15, Joey Anderson gets the second of the season from Kerfoot and Hall. However, there's then a 4-minute power play for the Sens. There was a shorthanded rush by Nylander. That's broken up by Chabot. Power play's killed off, and then the Leafs get a power play of their own. That was killed off as well. Marner's denied on a rush. That was his fourth shot already. After one period, it's 1-1. But early in the second period, Tkachuk scores from Hamonic and Stützle at 23 seconds. The Leafs, though, would draw a power play, and they score on it. It's Nylander from Tavares and Marner at 2:44. So it's 2-2. This game's a nice back and forth. The Leafs haven't had a lead yet, but they've been driving the play for large portions. The Sens get a power play. There's a shorthanded Yarncroke chance that's saved, and then they get the power play marker, and it's Brassard with the power play goal from Giroux and Sanderson at 9:57. Tavares then nearly answers because Toronto had been answering each goal for Ottawa to this point. Sens, they'll go back to the power play. That's killed off. The Leafs press with 6.5 minutes left. There's a near miss for Kerfoot on a rush. And then Batherson. Yep, 2-goal lead. Scores from Pinto at 16:37. The Leafs then get a power play with 2.5 minutes left, and Ottawa kills that off. So we're going into the third period. It's 4-2 for the Sens. DeBrincat has a rush chance that's defended, but at 3:32, Brady Tkachuk gets the second goal of the game, and suddenly it's 5-2, and that is a quiet crowd in Toronto when their team's down by 3. Shots are 3-1 Sens at 4.5 minutes. The Sens' speed was really a big factor tonight. They were just faster to the pucks, and just they were giving the Leafs fits with that. Power play then for the Sens with 9.5 minutes left. That's killed off. And then on a takeaway, Giroux buries it from the slot with just, that was fantastic. 14:53, nice goal. That would be the last goal of the game. The score is 6-2 at the end of this. For Ottawa, they're 22-23-3 with the win. Toronto 30-12-8 with the loss. The shots in this one, 15-14 Toronto in the first, 12 apiece in the second, 8-6 Ottawa in the third. The final shots 34-33 for the Sens. Power plays, Ottawa 1 for 5, Toronto 1 for 3. Both teams had 22 hits. Forsberg saves 31 out of 33. Samsonov, probably his ugliest numbers in a Toronto game at home. 28 saves on 34 shots. But again, it was just Ottawa. And this is what Ottawa does. Ottawa goes out and has games like this. It's a matter of having that momentum and having a bunch of those games back to back to back where they're really good for a 5 to 10 game segment. And that's been their problem. So we'll see if this is a sign things are turning around. Next up, last one on this board is San Jose and Carolina. All right, so San Jose really likes to make sure I watch as much of their games as possible. They're like, we got to get overtime. Do we have a lead? Yeah, we got to lose that lead. We got to get overtime. So it was Reimer versus Ranta in this one. Good early back and forth. There's a power play for the Sharks. That was killed off. The shots at 6 minutes are only one apiece. San Jose did a very good job of limiting chances to that stage. McDonald then has a chance that's held as he's playing for San Jose now. Kane's press at the half. Svechnikov has a sharp angle shot that's held. That's Andrei Svechnikov. I did start labeling them later on. But Lindblom would open the scoring. He scores from Evgeny Svechnikov and Lawrence at 15-10. So then with 4 minutes left, you'll notice the Canes only had 2 shots in the game to this point. I think San Jose they ended up with 7 at the end. I think they had like 5 shots. So not a lot of opportunities for either team. But the fact the Canes only had 2 shots at home, just crazy. But at 17:33, the Canes get on the board. It's DeHaan from Coghlan and Kotkaniemi. And Kotkaniemi holds the line, makes sure it doesn't get out, and he set the whole thing up. So nice play there by Kotkaniemi. Necas is then denied in the closing seconds. So it's 1-1 after 1, but the Canes have some momentum. So we're going to the second period. Burns has a screenshot that's held. Andrei Svechnikov has a rush chance that's defended. Hurdle had a rush chance that was saved. The Canes cleared out. And then Evgeny Svechnikov has a chance that's saved as well. You can see the brothers were kind of trying to one-up each other a little bit in this. Canes press at 6 minutes. The shots are 4-3 for the Sharks, though at 7.5 minutes. So again, this is bizarro world. Canes get a power play. Shea has a shot that's held. That's killed off. Barabanov's denied as the Sharks press. The hitting starts ramping up a little bit as the period's going along. It was not a game, though, that had a lot of shots, or a lot of hits, I should say. Carlson has a shot kicked aside. Evgeny Svechnikov has a chance that's saved. Canes rush the other way. Canes press in the final minute, and eventually they draw a power play with 28.1 seconds left. So that rolls over into the third period, and it doesn't take long into the third. Aho tips one in close. Nason with the assist. That only took 17 seconds into the third period. Sharks look for an answer. The shots are 5-2 for Carolina at 6.5 minutes, and then San Jose scores. At 6:50, it's Bonino from Asamont, and then the Sharks are pressing again. At 7.5 minutes, they're looking for another one. Power play for the Sharks. They don't score on it, but not long after that's done, at 11:15, Asamont, who has fit in so well with San Jose, he scores from Sturm and Ferraro, and so suddenly the score's 3-2. Becomes 4-2 with an empty net goal. It's Ferraro from Asamont at 18:08. So that's it. It's done. Sealed. It's San Jose. It's never done. It's never sealed. 18:23. It takes 15 seconds, and Aho goes 5-hole with this one. Teravainen and Jarvis with that. And then at 19:48, about 11.9 seconds left, I think it was, Necas gets the goal. He scores from Svechnikov and Aho. So we're going to overtime. Doesn't last long. Early chances are traded, and then Necas buries one on a rush. Svechnikov with the assist at 55 seconds, and Carolina wins this one 5-4 in overtime. They go to 31-9-8 with the win. San Jose 14-25-11. That is 11 games that have gone to extra time in San Jose so far. So if you've ever Thought, how could I envy him more? I watch a lot of extra time for San Jose Sharks games, and they almost never win them in overtime. At least it seems that way. But I'm a Dallas fan, so I know how it feels to watch a team that doesn't win in overtime, which reminds me, I now need to change boards. So, Vegas. Vegas very clearly is a team that right now is in some peril. Coming out of tonight's action, they are now third in the division. So, this is getting to the point where it's starting to look somewhat like last season. It was Hill versus Halak in this one. The shots are 3-1 for Vegas at 5 minutes. Stevenson has a chance that's defended. Carrier had a tip shot that was saved. They came out very well in this one to start. Vegas getting odd man rushes as well, so 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, they're getting those. There's a power play for Vegas. Pietrangelo fires one wide. They cycle. That's killed off. Marchessault's denied. Halak holds. And then Kreider opens the scoring for the Rangers from Trocheck at 16:08, playing his 700th game and gets his 20th goal of the season. So Kreider, after a slowish start to the season, is now on pace for almost 40 goals. I think he can hit 40 goals. I think he can get 20 more goals from here. Fox then has a chance that's held as the momentum has swung. They're looking for more. Panarin is denied. In the final minute, the Rangers press, and they eventually get another. It's Trocheck from Gaudreau and Lindgren at 19:17. So out of the first period, that second half of the period, the Rangers push really hard, and they get 2 goals, and they're up 2-0. Second period, right off the hop, you have Kolesar versus Cooley. So Cooley definitely winning over some Ranger fans there. Throws down with Kolesar, who's a tough customer on his own. We end up with a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Kakko has a rush chance that's kicked aside. There's a near miss for Panarin. It's cleared out. And then from an angle that I guess only Phil Kessel could score from, he gets one from Carrier and Karlsson at 4:57. They all count. They're all the same. Kreider's then denied and close as the Rangers are now facing, the reality that they need to get another one. Shots are 6-5 Rangers at 7 minutes. Schneider to Lecision, near miss there. Remember, Lecision was claimed off waivers by the Rangers from Vegas. VC's denied from the slot. Gaudreau has a shot that's held. Vegas presses to close it. After 2 periods, it's 2-1. Third period, early jump for the Rangers. However, 3.5 minutes in, the shots on net are 4-1 for Vegas. Rangers draw a power play. Trouba has a shot that's saved as it ends. Hedl has a net feed that's picked off. Zibanejad with a rush chance that's saved. Pressed by the Rangers with 7 minutes left. Eventually, Hedl gets his 16th of the year. This one goes in off Theodore at 14:20. Schneider and Harper with the assists. So Harper with his brand new contract. Now he's got a helper too. So 4:10 left. The Rangers get a power play. That's killed off. Vegas would pull the goaltender. That allows VC to hit the empty net from Schneider at 18:35. Your final score is 4-1 for the Rangers. They go to 27-14-8 on the season. For Vegas, 29-18-3 with the loss. The shots in this one, 16-14 Vegas in the first, 13-9 Rangers in the second, 13-9 Rangers in the third as well. Final shots, 40-34 for the Rangers. Both teams go 0 for 2 on the power play. Hits, 31-29 Vegas. Hill saved 36 out of 39. Halak, maybe his best start with the Rangers, 33 saves on 34 shots. So that'll bring his save percentage up, and that's the kind of backup goaltending you want if you're the Rangers, because Shesterkin might get a couple extra games off. All right, next up. New Jersey in against Dallas. You know, this is a storyline with Dallas that started to bother me a bit. And they were getting into this today, too, on this broadcast about how bad Dallas is with the long change. And that means second period and overtime. So, Vanacek versus Ottinger. Dallas was wearing the Rave jerseys. They used to have a really good record in the Rave jerseys. I don't know that they do now. Early jump for Dallas. Ottinger. Poke checks one away from Sharangovich. There were no shots on net 4.5 minutes in. So, both defenses showed up well early. Didn't stay that way. Both defenses are causing turnovers. The Devils press at 7 minutes. The shots start to roll in. They're 3-2 Devils 9 minutes in. Sharangovich has a rush chance to deflect high, and then from behind the goal line, Dellandrea deflects one in. Ben and Johnston with the assist at 10:50. There's a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. Stars go back to the power play. Robertson's denied, and then we had 1 minute and 6 seconds of 5-on-3. So you have to score there, and they do. It's Hintz from Heiskanen and Pavelski at 16:44. But during the 5-on-4, they take a penalty. Makes it a 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there, but it's 2-0 Dallas after 1. Second period. Takes 1 minute and 5 seconds for Hughes, who's really become a superstar in the league. He scores from Hamilton. Gurienov's then denied on a 2-on-1, and then on a rush, they score. As during a Dallas line change, as the other goal was too. Wood from Bastian at 3:55. So New Jersey taking advantage of the long change. The long change sinking Dallas once again. Stars press for an answer. Power play for Dallas. Robertson has a blast that's held. It then becomes a minute and 25 of 4-on-4 as they take themselves off the power play again. Heischer has a shot that's blocked. Everything's killed off there. Pavelski's then denied out of the box. Ben was denied as well as the Stars press. Vanacek had a really good game. Goalie interference for Dellandrea causes a Devils power play. That's killed off. There was a press by the Stars with 3 minutes left, but after 2, it's tied at 2. Third period, early Zetterlund shot deflects out. There were no shots on net 5 minutes in, so it's a slow start, the same as the first period. Guryanov's denied and close. The shot's 9.5 minutes in, or 4-3 for the Stars. Little did we know, Dallas didn't get another shot after that. That was it. Strong forecheck by Dallas. There's a near miss by Pavelski. Like I said, nothing else hit the net. It felt like overtime with 5 minutes left. Hamilton's denied. The Stars clear it out, and sure enough, we go to overtime. This is a storyline that I've seen this year. So Dallas 2-7 in overtimes coming into this. The Devils 6-3 in overtimes. So I kind of knew what to expect, but this was quick, even for Dallas. New Jersey scores at 20 seconds. Hughes from Bratt. Sagan kind of helped that one in too. So that's 3 overtime losses in a row for Dallas. It's one of those things where Dallas fans will say, hey, at least they're getting points. My answer is, yeah, 10 of them. They now have 10 losses in extra time. They're 28-13-10. New Jersey 32-13-4 with the win. The shots in this one, 13-5 Dallas in the first, 18-13 Dallas in the second, 10-4 New Jersey in the third, and they got the only shot of overtime. That's the one that matters. Final shots, 35-29 Dallas. Power plays, New Jersey 0 for 3, Dallas 1 for 4. The hits were 14-11 for New Jersey. Vanacek saves 33 out of 35. Ottinger, 26 saves on 29 shots. So overall, it's another loss of a point for Dallas, and it's drip, drip, drip. It's reminding me of when they missed the playoffs a couple years back, and just how a lot of it was the overtime losses. And it sunk their chances for a playoff. Obviously, right now, they're first in the West, so that's not the case here. But it does make you wonder, if this is the best team in the West, what's going to happen in the final, right? This is where Avalanche fans say, don't worry, we'll be healthy for the playoffs. We'll take care of it. All right, next up, Calgary in against Seattle. Home teams don't win in this series, do they? So it's Vladar versus Jones. Early Tanev rush chance. That goes wide. The shots are 2 apiece, 3.5 minutes in. Mangiapane's denied and close. And then John Hayden gets his first goal as a member of the Kraken. He scores from Borgen and Sprong at 5:20. Flames press for an answer. The Kraken, though, they press back. There's shots being blocked by Calgary. And then on a rush right after that, Lindholm scores from Toffoli and Dubé at 7:16. Wide open, that first period, chances for both teams. The difference is, a lot of the Seattle shots are hitting a lot of the Calgary shots are hitting the net. The Seattle ones are not. So that's a problem. The shots are 7-4 for the Flames with 9 minutes left. Calgary gets a power play. Things get scrummy after a hold by Jones. That's killed off. And then Toffoli buries a rebound. Coleman with the assist at 13:28. So Tyler Toffoli having a very good run right now. Kraken draw a power play. That's killed off. Anderson has a rush chance that's saved. And then with 5 seconds left, Zadorov. He scores from Lindholm and Weegar. So after the first period, it's 3-1 Calgary. Second period, Coleman has a shot that's blocked. The Flames with the edge. Stone has a shot that's blocked as well. The Flames leading in shots 3-0 at 4.5 minutes. Gord gets hurt blocking a shot from Stone. That looked like it sucked. He could barely, I think it was his right ankle that he could barely put any weight on. So hopefully he's okay. Then Tanev's stick breaks on his own entry. That, of course, being Brandon Tanev because Chris Tanev's on the IR. Too many Kraken on the ice, so the Flames get a power play. That was killed off. The Kraken clear it out after. 8 shots for the Seattle Kraken 30 minutes into this game. Just 8. They would finish with 31, but they had 8 in the first half of the game. So power play for Seattle. Dunn has a shot that's held. Dangerous power play, this one. Tolvanen, Sprong are denied. It's killed off. 4 shots on that one. Then there's a post for Lindholm before the Kraken go back to the power play. That one not nearly as dangerous. It's killed off by Calgary as well. 58.7 seconds left. Zadorov puts the puck over the glass. Kraken go back to the power play. So that rolls over into the third period where McCann has a rush chance that's held. The Flames did finish the kill. They allowed 2 shots on that one. Pelche prominent in this one. I agree with the announcers and a lot of the praise. Peltier's going to force his way into getting more ice time. He's too prominent when he's out there. Shots are 8-4 for Seattle at 4.5 minutes. The Flames press at 5 minutes. Kraken end up getting a power play. Seattle scores. They challenge for goalie interference. And again, this is the rule. And I did the video on goalie interference, and it matches. And when I'm watching these, I'm like, okay, you contact the goaltender, you're in the crease, you went in there on your own volition, then it's no goal. If the contact occurs outside the crease, it will likely count. So in this case, the contact's inside the crease. It was the right call to challenge it, and it does come off the board. There's a shorthanded 2-on-0. Coleman's denied there. They did kill off that power play. And then Tolvanen makes it a close one. He scores from Bjorkstrand and Larson at 10:36. But then the Flames answer. It's Hanifin on a 4-on-2. So you need this game if you're Seattle and a 4-on-2 happens. So Backlund and Coleman with the assists at 11:40. Seattle would pull the goaltender with 1:40 left. That allows Coleman to hit the empty net at 18:40. Makes your final score 5-2. Calgary 24-17-9 with the win. Seattle 28-15-5 with the loss. I don't know why they lose at home the way they do, but here we are again. So the shots, 16-6 Calgary in the first, 13-8 Calgary in the second. Seattle outshoots them 17-9 in the third. Final shots 38-31 for Calgary. Power plays, the Flames 0-2. Seattle 0-5. I have a board up where it's St. Louis and Colorado for tomorrow. That's the first game. I've already got the board made up and I'm looking at it. So apologize for saying St. Louis. I don't think I've said that before in this video, but we'll see. So the hits are 19-18 for Calgary. Vladar saves 29 out of 31. He had a very strong game. Jones saves 33 out of 37. So for Calgary, a much-needed 2 points, and now they have 9 days off. So kudos to them for that. All right. And in between now and when they play again, I'll have been in Disneyland. All right, last up, Columbus and Vancouver. We know that Vancouver is not as bad as Columbus or Chicago. That's what we found out in the first 3 games for Talkit. Now, I don't know if the structure's a lot better because, again, with Columbus and Chicago, it's hard to tell, right? So it's Korpisalo versus Delia. Early power play for Columbus. Vancouver gets a shorthanded goal, and it's Pettersson from Horvat at 125. I love the idea of Pettersson playing all situations, playing lots of minutes, and if/when Horvat gets traded, I think Pettersson's the next guy to wear the C. I do. I think he's the guy you're building around, and I think he's the next guy that gets captaincy. But since they scored shorthanded, they have to allow the power play goal, and it's Marchenko, who's on this ridiculous run. He's got his 12th goal. He has no assists in his career, but he has 12 goals. Boquist and Laine at 2:06. So the penalty kill still sucks. This is a very important thing for the Canucks. Make sure the penalty kill is still one of the worst in the history of the National Hockey League. Studnicka can't bury one on a fast break. Things get punchy after a hold by Korpisalo. Garland tips one wide. There's a near miss for Kuzmenko. Canucks draw a power play, and they score on it. It's Hughes was 5th of the year, so it's nice to see the goals going in for Quinn Hughes. Miller and Horvat with the assists at 13:25. Or 13:21, I should say. 3:25 left. Columbus gets a power play. That's killed off. No shots. So the penalty kill, 1 for 2 on the night. There you go. Mikheyev would then add one at 19:15 from Besser and Horvat. So Horvat with some assists. He set a new a new career high for himself with assists tonight in this game. So in the first period, he had 3 assists. And then Miller nearly adds another. JT Miller was all around the net tonight. Couldn't get a goal, but at least the opportunities are there. Second period, Canucks get a power play. Miller has a blast that's held and saved the Canucks, or the Columbus Blue Jackets cleared out. Mikheyev couldn't bury one. That power play is killed off. Post for Studnicka on a rush. Bemstrom then had a shot that was saved. That was the first shot for Columbus. The shots are 8-1 for the Canucks at 8.5 minutes. Canucks press, but miscue ends up clearing it, so they accidentally clear it themselves. Goudreau fires one high. The Canucks press with 3 minutes left. 1:47 left. The Jackets get a power play. Boquist has a shot that's blocked by Ethan Bear. And so that power play rolls over into the third where the Canucks finish the kill. Hey, they're up to 2 for 3. It wouldn't stay that way. Shots are 4-2 for Columbus, 2.5 minutes in. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has a shot that's held through a screen. Pettersson then loses the handle on a rush. But Joshua puts one in off Boquist. They all count. Horvat and Besser with the assists at 8:20. So there's Horvat with another assist. That's 4 assists in this game tonight. Columbus presses with 9.5 minutes left. Miller then couldn't bury one when Vancouver presses back. The Canucks get a power play, and they score on it. It's Pettersson from Miller and Hughes at 12:52. So for Miller, that is 2 assists on the night. Not too bad. And the Bruce, there it is, chance started. So Canuck fans letting the organization know they done Bruce dirty. That's what that's for. 4:10 left. The Columbus Blue Jackets get a power play, and of course they score on it. This way they're 2 for 4. Marchenko, second goal of the game, 13th goal of his career. He has no assists. Jenner and Goudreau with the assists at 16:52. Garland would hit a post. Canucks get a power play to end it. They don't score on it. They don't need to. Your final score is 5-2 for Vancouver. They go to 20, 26-3 with the win. Columbus 15, 31-3 with the loss. The shots in this one, 13-7 Vancouver in the first, 10-6 Vancouver in the second, 12-11 Columbus in the third. Final shots, 34-25 Vancouver. Power plays, Columbus 2 for 4. Vancouver's power play showed up, 2 for 3. Hits 28-22 for Vancouver. Korpisalo saves 29 out of 34. Delia had a good game, 23 saves on 25 shots, and that skate mask he has is nice. They've been wearing that skate a lot. I still think the Canucks are going to rebrand. I do. I get that feeling. It reminds me of Carolina wearing the black jersey all the time before they finally said, yeah, we're retiring the red jersey. I get the feeling the Canucks may rebrand. And we'll see how things go if they end up doing so. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, if they go to the skate full time, how would you feel? All that fun stuff. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.